Hello everyone, hope you're all well. As you can probably tell, I am going to do some stitching. And what I've done is I have spent the last, I'd say the last hour and a half, it's taken me this long, putting this together. An hour, I'm exaggerating, it was probably about an hour, which sounds like a lot, but I did it and then didn't like it and then did it again and, you know, kept moving things around. Anyway, so I am here at this point. What I've done is I have put a dot of glue on each piece so that it's glued down, so that I'm not messing about with it. And I'm going to just now sew it, do some stitching. Now I'm just thinking, if that, because I've you know, put a dot of glue on, I'm just thinking I might not need to do any base stitching. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to start here anyway. I've got some, I'm using 2 strands of floss here, and I'm just going to make my way across here. So I'm not going, at this point I'm not going to do any fancy stitching. I'm just going to go, you know, do some basic running stitch. And this is a base really. I am intending to do more work on top, you know, put more bits of fabric or whatever on top. I think that was the plan. But this is meant to be a decorative piece. I just fancy doing something decorative, and then, you know, maybe even, depending on how it turns out, maybe have it, you know, as a wall piece. But although I'm not sure about the colours, originally I was going for pink, and then it's sort of developed into a peachy colours, which I didn't really want. Apologies for my hands. I have been scratched by Bobby again. For those of you who are new, Bobby is my cat, and this is the 3rd time he scratched me. This was entirely my fault. I was playing with him and he scratched me. He gets overexcited, he can't seem to control his emotions. He's a funny little cat, but he's also a bit wild. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I think I prefer that. So yeah, it's you know, I don't want to cover them up because I like to let the air breathe, but I have got antiseptic cream on them. Did wash them very carefully because, you know, very aware of you know, the hygiene of around scratches and bites of animals. I'm not doing this very well, but I'm going to pull it towards me if that's all right, and then I'll just fold it over while I work on it. Otherwise I'm going to go all wobbly all over the place, and I don't want to. I might go all the way around, I'm not sure, but I'll just use different coloured threads. I'm not going to use the same thread over and over again. Did I ask how you are? Hope you're all well, and I hope the sun is shining for you wherever you are. It's in and out here, the sun. It's not committing itself to anyone. I'll probably put a bit too much glue on there because it feels a bit like it's just wondering whether to bring this out, and I think I will. So So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my last video. I ask because you know, there hasn't been much response to it, to be honest. And that's okay if people don't have the time, I understand. But I thought it was quite a nice little project, and I hope that, you know, sort of maybe it was something that, you know, you might enjoy doing yourself. It was to try and encourage to do sort of a simple project like that. Whoops, nearly. And I was thinking, you know, I did find those images. If you haven't seen it, go and have a nosy. It was a very simple project. It was quite enjoyable because it didn't last very long. It didn't go on, and it didn't require a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. It was just very basic. But what I was doing is I was using images from, I've gone really skew-iffed there, but it doesn't matter. Images from, I'm just wondering whether to go, no, I'm going to carry on, keep going. They were from a magazine, and so I felt quite good that, you know, I was reusing pieces of paper, you know, sort of repurposing just bits of paper really, and then gluing them to card, and then making little dangle tags things. I don't know what you would call them. Called them dangles, but just purely because I did dangle them from a page in my. In fact, I'll show you when I've finished this, if I remember. And they're just nice little decorative things to add to your journals. So, ooh, do that a lot. Right. So some of these pieces of cloth on this piece are from when I've dyed with vegetables and so natural dyes, and then this one I've added rust in this is a very old piece actually. I've had it quite a long time, so yeah, it's just been hanging around. I take little pieces off now and again, and yeah, so as I was saying, I just, you know, I thought it was a very simple and easy piece, and you could take any image, and, you know, it could be a really pretty page of flowers, and you could just, you know, sort of viewfinder sort of the pieces of flowers, if you know what I mean, sort of a small square, cut it out, and then find another piece for the back, glue both sides to some card, and then, you know, I inked them, and then I added a bulb pin. You could add safety pins. They don't have to be bulb pins. So yeah, nice little project, and thank you for your comment, by the way, Diane. That was very kind of you to say, and I appreciate when people comment. I really do. It makes all the difference in terms of motivation. So thank you for that. And I'm very aware that it tends to be the same people who comment, which is really nice. It's sort of building up a bit of a community. I mean, you know, a bit of a feeling that there are people on here that, you know, appreciate the work that YouTubers are doing. I'll just do some back stitch and then back through. And then just, there we go, nice. Right, so next I've got some cream here. I'll just use this. So as I said, I'm not going to use the same colour all the way around. I'll just keep using the colours at hand. Whoops. Whoop. I'm just threading my needle. Now I know slow stitch isn't exactly thrilling, but I also am aware that these are the most popular videos on my YouTube channel. So, and I enjoy doing them, and I absolutely love slow stitch. I really love doing it. So for me, it's a win-win. And I'm just really happy that you guys enjoy it as well. But as I say, this is just a decorative piece that I wanted to do, and I just wanted some sort of lots of neutrals, and then I'm just wondering actually if that comes over there. I might prefer that, just because it's a big piece. I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway, because I'll be I'm just going to start here. I know there's a bit left to do there, and I'll come back to that. Try and do some running stitch to make it a bit quicker. I want it to take on, you know, that sort of nice buckling effect that we get with canter stitch or running stitch. I never know what to call it, to be honest. Well, I know it's running stitch, but I never, you know, I don't know if there's don't know if there's anything to tell you really, because I don't think I said very much yesterday when I did that other video, to be honest, because it was my second video. I did start off doing a video, and it didn't go to plan, so I ended up, you know, scrapping it. But I think I chatted myself out at that point. So I could just do, you know, ordinary thread, and I might do ordinary thread in some parts of this, but I think it's nice just to frame it first with this embroidery thread. And what I'm hoping to do is to just pull that up a little bit there. What I'm hoping to do is to embroider some flowers or something on top. Maybe stamp something. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I'm going to, it's going to be quite decorative, I think. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going out for lunch and you know, just sort of spending the day with my family. Looking forward to that. I think that goes under there, I think. I'm not sure now. Yeah, I think it goes under there. I'm not sure it matters too much, but I do have quite a lot of floral fabrics now, but I struggle to use them, if I'm honest. So part of me doesn't want to cut them up. I want to, you know, keep them, hoard them. But having said that, you know, when it comes to a project, and I struggle with what I'm going to do with them as well. So it's sort of, well, what shall I actually do with them? I'm sure if I put my mind to it, you know, and went on Pinterest and things like that, then I do apologise for this. As I say, it's all clean and I've got antiseptic cream on it. Do a back stitch here just to hold this in place. Some stories to these cloths. So this here are pieces of pyjamas. It was mine. This is from a skirt, I think, or it might be a dress of my granddaughter's. This was like a blouse t-shirty thing of mine, and this was a skirt of my granddaughter's. That's an old bed quilt, and then, you know, the rest are either hand dyed or you know, I bought pieces of lace. Yeah, so the sun's gone in again now and it's starting to rain again. It just doesn't know what it wants to do. It's been like this for days now, but it's okay. Spring is on its way. I mean, it's here really. And the clocks will be going, we go forward or back, I can't remember. Back. I think. So we'll have lighter nights and lighter mornings, which will be lovely. In fact, we've already got lighter mornings. I mean, I was awake very early this morning and it was light, but outside I could hear birds singing. I'm not going to, yeah, knew that would happen, so I'm just going to cut it off there and not worry about it. Right, so I've got that little bit to do there, and then I've got that little bit to do here, but I'm not worrying about it right now. So now I need to think about going round again, maybe. Yeah, I think I will. Oh, there's 4 there, 4 strands, so I'm ready. I must admit I'm ready for a hot drink, but I'm going to do this, and then so I did originally, just earlier on, I did originally film me putting these pieces together, but it was taking too long. I really struggled with it, so that's why you know, I decided just to put them together off camera and then do some slow stitch. Just because otherwise you just, you know, it takes too long and people get bored and switch off and what have you. So, and I know slow stitch isn't everybody's cup of tea, but a lot of people do enjoy, you know, just watching somebody slow stitch because it's a relaxing thing to do. Or quite often people tell me that they stitch along with me, which is lovely. I love that idea. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around again. Just these few stitches, I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but just these few stitches make it seem, I don't know, nicer. I don't know, like it seems to be coming together already. I was watching a video last night, or early this morning, I can't remember, and it was a lady who was 60, probably late 60s, I think, and she was American, and she was talking about, she was telling her audience about her story from the age of 65, I believe, or early 60s anyway. And she was saying how she became homeless. She had a home. She was well-educated lady, professional in her job. I don't know what went wrong. She didn't say, but something obviously went wrong, and she became homeless. And she ended up spending 5 years in a hotel, living in a hotel with a group of men who, you know, were obviously homeless too and had various health issues and, you know, sort of, I don't know what, you know, maybe mental health, maybe physical health problems, I don't know. But anyway, she lived with this group of men in a hotel for 5 years. And then she applied, I don't know how, she doesn't explain it fully in when she's talking about it, but she said she overheard some cleaning ladies who cleaned the hotel every day or every week or whenever, and she heard them somebody saying, I've got a house, I got myself a house. And from there, she says her life changed because she overheard that, and then she decided she was going to apply for housing. So I don't know why she wouldn't have applied for housing. It's not properly fully explained, but anyway, she must have thought for some reason that she couldn't apply for housing. So I think that was a revelation to her, or, you know, something happened and she became aware, which was, you know, the start of change for her. And then, you know, this lady's in her late 60s. And she lived 5 years in a hotel, and a horrible hotel. You know, she describes how horrible it was. She said the people that lived there were kind, and the people that worked there were kind to her. She didn't have any problems, even though it was a mostly all male, if not all male, environment. But what she said, just, you know, I just sort of, it really hit home. I mean, I'm very aware of homeless people. You know, I'm very aware of how horrible and how, you know, there's a saying that we're, I don't know, 2 paychecks away from being homeless or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how true that is, but I can imagine it's very, the times that we're living in are very, you know, uncertain. And yeah, she said in the back of her mind, she always had this sense of fear of becoming a bag lady. That's how she described it. And then she said it happened. She lived in a car for a while. A lot of people live in their cars nowadays. And I was just in awe of her, really, because she was clearly a very brave lady, but, you know, out of necessity. I don't think she would say, I mean, I can't put words in her mouth, but I don't think she would say, you know, she revelled in that situation. I think she just did the best she could. And but yeah, I really admired her, the way she spoke. She was very eloquent on the matter, and very honest. I really felt for her, but now she's in on home, and from what I could see, it looked, you know, she had it looking lovely and homely. She had a little dog, and she seemed to be, you know, she was very articulate. I think I've said that. And for her, I think she must be in her 70s now. So but she doesn't look it. She looked younger. Excuse me. And she was obviously, you know, had coped with a lot in those 5 years. Amazing how the resilience of people and what we go through. And we know this because of, you know, because life is difficult, and there are a lot of people who are homeless and who are, you know, living under difficult circumstances. But yeah, when you hear their stories, I'm sure she felt at times that she was being judged. She doesn't say that, but I'm sure she does feel that. I think it's only natural for somebody to feel that, you know. Oh, I cut a bit too much off there, I think. Just going to pull that down a little bit. There. But yeah, I really admired her for speaking out, and she didn't sound bitter at all. She was just very matter of fact. I think because she's just started a YouTube channel, it's sort of, I hope she does well. YouTube is very hit and miss. It's a saturated market now, or, you know, saturated market. I don't know how to describe it, but it's saturated with people all doing the same type of thing. And, you know, there are a few lucky ones, and then there's lots of people left behind and just keep plodding away. So I was thinking yesterday about, you know, with spring, you know, and the flowers are up. I've got a lovely ball of daffodils on my kitchen window ledge, and you know, I noticed that lots of spring flowers are up, and I'm going to be doing my seeds today, actually. Well, make a start on them anyway. And I was thinking I'm going to I'm going to use my nature journal that I made last year, the big one, to record you know, to record. So it's a nature journal for myself. So I have an Instagram page that I record, you know, nature. So I haven't felt the need to, that's come out again. I'm not sure what to do now because I can't seem to get it back on. I'll try again. There we go. Just take it back. There we go. Right. What was I saying? Oh yes, about recording nature. So yeah, I would normally record nature on my Instagram page, and I have my Facebook. The Instagram page links to a Facebook page, and it's all to do with my still room apothecary, and that's how I have recorded nature, journaled about it in a way, I suppose. Not journaling in the traditional sense of the way that you might think, but observing and writing about it, and then, you know, taking photographs. So the same process, but just a different medium. So, but then I made that huge journal last year, towards, I think it was autumn when I did it, and I thought this year I am going to use it to record nature. So that's what I'm going to be doing, because it's been sitting since I did it. It's just been sitting there, and I would like to, you know, use it. But it isn't something, originally it was going to be a nature journal that I carried around with me, but it became too big and heavy and bulky to do that. So it will be something that I use in a creative way, but also, yeah, just, oh, there's my stomach. It's always got to rumble. Oh, and I've gone really off. I'm just going to go back here. Oh no, I won't do that yet, because I want to carry on going around. I missed that little bit there, so I want to just take this little bit down here. So yeah, so that's what I was thinking about. I love journaling. I mean, I just, you know, I use it as a tool to help me get my thoughts out and onto paper, and then, you know, I don't mind getting rid of those thoughts if I don't want anybody else to see them. Not that there's anybody here that would see them, but, you know, yeah, private thoughts. And I just love journaling. It's a really very useful tool. If you haven't journaled, despite being a junk journal maker, or if you're here for the slow stitch, I do recommend journaling. It's such a relaxing thing to do, and You know, you don't have to use your own junk journals to do journaling. You know, you can use a bought journal, which gives you prompts and things like that, which is always helpful. I think people think, well, what am I going to journal about? But it depends on your circumstance. You know, a lot of people use it as a tool for mental health, to improve mental health. And, you know, other people use it as a creative tool, as I said. But there are quite a lot of journals on the market nowadays that, not junk journals, you know, that have everything sort of laid out for you in the pages about what to, you know, prompting you on what to write. And because they give you the prompts, you might find it easier. There are a lot on the market, a huge amount, and some better than others. So, you know, if you are thinking about it, do some research just to, and don't, you know, you don't have to spend a fortune. You know, there are ones that maybe are in the sale, you know, but are as good as any others. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with this framing. It makes a difference, I think. And then I think I will go off and have a cup of tea and something to eat, and then I'll come back and do a little bit more. Okay, so I've got that little bit and that little bit still to do, so, and that's all right. So I'm going to just stop here, have a cup of tea, as I said, and something to eat because I'm hungry, and then I'll come back and I might do just a corner of decorative stitching, just to make, you know, to have a go at something. I need a little bit more of this over here, I think, so I might put a little bit there. Anyway, so I'll stop here for now and I'll be back soon. So hi, so I'm back. Did have a bit of an extended break, but then I came back and did a bit of stitching. So I did a little bit more here, and around here in different places. So I'm just adding these two little bits. They absolutely go. I added that piece. I'm thinking about adding this one now. I love that. Or it could be there. No, I quite like it there, I think. Yeah, quite like it there. So yeah, so I'm just stitching on really. So I'll just do a little bit more slow stitch and then go from there. Right, I think I'm going to work in here, in this area here. So I'm going to start here. No, look, why have I done that? Just put that off there. I don't mind that. I don't mind coming in there. So yeah, I'll do a little bit of stitching. I don't mind it being a bit wonky. So, are you doing any slow stitch? It'd be good to hear what you're up to if you are doing any, whether you've got a project on the go. I mentioned a little while ago that I was going to do Roxy Creations I forget what it's called now, Still Life, and I did start it, but I decided, and I've been working on, you know, a slow stitch in relation to that, but I decided not to do it in the way that it was being done, if you know what I mean. I decided not to follow it. So, but I have been working on something, so I will show you it at some point. But it isn't that. It's just that it started out as that, and then I decided to change it and do something different. But I have been working on it, so it's been lovely being working on this. You know, it's a slow stitch project, and it's just been really nice working on it. I can pick it up and you know, work with it whenever I feel like it and not feel under pressure. And it's been interesting working on it. I will show you it. So I am going to just keep doing this sort of stitching. And I'm going to sort of pull tension a little bit now to try and get some of that nice rippling effect. So yeah, so let me know what you're working on. I would love to know, genuinely. You know, is there anything in particular that you're working on that you can share with us? And, you know, is it something that we could join in with? I really like this left like that, so I'm just wondering whether to leave it like that, and I think I will. I was going to do the whole thing, but I think I might leave it. And yeah, I'm going to, because I really like that. Love the back, love the way it looks. Okay, well, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, and just keep the needle is bent, so one of the reasons you know, I'm getting wonky stitches is because the needle is bent, which I don't mind a bent needle though, you know, it doesn't bother me. I'd rather use this needle than a thicker needle. I do need some new needles though, so maybe that's something I will treat myself to. Hang on, what am I doing here? Oh yes, I've come through, that's why I need to go through here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch across there with something, but I'll probably use a different coloured thread for that. It's a bit tedious, you know, but having to go keep turning it around, but it's you know, I want to go in this direction, so It's a lovely colour, this one, this gold colour, really pretty. I might get one more roll out of this. Okay, well, I'm going to end this off here, and I'm not going to make you watch me do this. So not that I could make you do anything, but you know what I mean. I will finish that bit. Let me just see. It's all these little bits of thread. I have this. I'm going to do a little bit with this on camera, and then I will call it a day. But I did want to share some stitching with you, so I feel like this needs some definition, so I'm going to maybe do something with that. So let's have a look now. I could right, I think I'm just going to go around. Just like the look of these rows of stitches, you know, but different on different pieces of cloth. Right, so then I will I could have followed this line here. Wiggly line. So I'll probably go around twice. I need to do something with this here. So yeah, it's just a case of me stitching edges down and, you know, going off in different directions. This is what I like to do, really. I might do some simple cross stitch. Yeah, so I'll just do whatever I feel I want to do at the time. So I'll finish going around twice, and then I'll let you guys go off until the next time, and I will do another one shortly. But I'll just finish off here for today, and then I can hopefully get it uploaded. If I don't, it'll be uploaded in the morning. see Bobby's, he's a black cat, and every now and then he must be jumping up on the table sometimes. Because his hairs keeps getting into my work. Gone a bit wobbly here and there, but it's okay. I don't mind. Go over to there. I love this little bit of fabric, and I've had a couple of pieces that I've used in different projects, you know. I seem to recall I used a piece like this in one of my journals, and as a little flip. And then this piece here, and I'm not sure if I had any more of that particular one, or if I've used them, you know, in days gone by. I can't remember, but I do remember using a piece of it to do a little flip up. Oh, no. So it's like making little rooms almost, sections of, you know, of slow stitch. Whoops. One little bit left to do. I'm thinking it would be nice actually to do a little embroidery in there, you know, sort of framed it in a way. So I'm going to end off here, but I will be back very soon with another one. I'm not going to put that there, but I was just looking. So yeah, I think it would be nice to have, this would be perfect for, you know, something in there. Maybe I could do a branch of something. It'd be nice to do some spring blossom. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying it so far. I will pop that in there for now, and I will come back to it at a later date, but I hope you've enjoyed so far. And yeah, we can maybe look at it being a spring blossom piece. I think that would be quite nice. And have a look at it like that. It's pretty, like that. That's okay. You can see which way it goes though, for sure. To my mind anyway. There we go. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back very soon. So take care everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.